Hi, I'm with Mac Below, and you are watching On Camera. Just like many of you out there, I'm a fast car enthusiast, and more particularly a BMW guy, as I have owned quite a few of them in the past. I just love how BMWs hug the road and how robust they are and how powerful they feel when driving them. I never thought or planned to drive any other cars unless that I could afford a super expensive fast car like a Lamborghini or a Bugatti, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon. And then one day, out of the blue, I stumbled upon a YouTube video about Elon Musk, and his lifetime story pretty much drew me into finding more about this genius individual. I immediately thought that Elon is a man after my own heart because of his excessive passion to succeed on everything that he embarks, except that I don't have his brain. On April 1st, 2016, I was watching a live feed of Elon Musk unveiling the Tesla Model 3. And I was blown away by the design and the car spec. I have seen a Model S before a few years back, and I didn't know much about the electric car, much less about Elon Musk. However, his presentation on the Model 3 quickly got my attention, and I knew at that moment I would be joining the Tesla movement. 3 days later, I placed my Model 3 reservation and put down the deposit. And by then, I was within the 200,000 people who have pre-ordered by only seeing the car on video without having to test drive any of its prototypes. Like every Model 3 enthusiast, we have taken a leap of faith with Elon's word and his presentation into being convinced that we will be satisfied with the Model 3 once we will be in receipt of the vehicle 2 years later. As you are watching this video, you are probably shaking your head and asking yourself, was it worth the wait in getting the Model 3 a year or two later? And the answer is a big yes. I can ascertain that if you ask anyone who owns a Model 3, he will agree that it is worth the wait with respect to how all of us love the Model 3. I, in particular, think that this is the fastest and coolest car that I have ever owned in my entire lifetime. Remember, I love BMWs, and I used to love my X5 as it stood tall, powerful, and very robust. But I didn't regret trading it in for my Tesla Model 3, even though I miss my heated steering wheel that I don't get in the Model 3. However, there is this excitement that emerges in whenever you are about to drive any Tesla, or precisely the Model 3. And the instant and powerful torque emanating from the electric engine every time you stomp on the accelerator. It just never gets old. Nevertheless, with great power comes big responsibility, and it is incumbent upon you as a Model 3 owner to drive moderately within the speed limit. The car has so many features that it displays the speed zone requirement for you, as it also registers your current driving speed on the top left screen in a reasonable size that you can ignore. I have watched videos about Tesla cars, and quite a few people are complaining about certain dislikes in the Model 3, even if they like the car. We will all agree to a certain extent that many of us are like creatures of habit, and many of us are too keen of adapting to updates or new changes when we've been accustomed to doing things in a particular way. However, those of us who are willing to embrace and welcome new ways can quickly realize that perhaps it should have been done this new way a while back. This holds true to the Model 3 with respect to the first time I saw pictures or videos of the Model 3 when it was first unveiled. I must admit that I was a bit disappointed as well that Elon Musk didn't make the display just like in the Model S. Nonetheless, it was easy to feel this way as it explained the notion of getting used to certain ways or traditions. But the minute you allow yourself the opportunity to familiarize with the Model 3, you will see how quickly you will change your mind with this new experience. In a democratic society, we will concur on the idea that people can have their own perspective on how they see or interpret things, which also explain the reason that taste and color is an individual preference. Not just because we don't like something, it automatically means that something is wrong with it. While many are complaining about the minimalistic design of the Model 3's dashboard or the 15-inch display being in the center of the console and that the door handles in or outside the car aren't practical, I, on the other hand, have come to appreciate the innovative imagination of the Model 3 design team. Just like every new thing in life, it takes a minute or two to adjust and appreciate new things if you are open-minded. The equivalent of opening the Model 3 door from the inside is the same as extending your hand to shake someone else's hand while applying your thumb on the button, which automatically opens the door as you sequentially push it with your elbow. It is for me as simple as second nature after doing it the second time. As a matter of fact, I found it to be more practical to open the door from the inside the Model 3 than it was in my BMW X5, which required 2 clicks in order to get it open. At times, passengers in the X5 always thought that the door was still locked as they attempted to get out. The Model 3 is a new car with tons of new technologies. Therefore, it is only logic that you educate every new passenger on how to operate the door handles to prevent mishandling. It is the same thing as telling someone who is exiting a luxury Mercedes-Benz not to slam the door, that the car can be softly closed by its motor. The same goes for Model 3 owners who rant and vent about the instrument clutter not being placed in the traditional location in the combustion engine vehicles to the steering wheels. If any of you were familiar with the BMW X5, for example, you will then have no issues with the Model 3 display design, since you will be used to looking at your navigation system to the center of the dashboard. You will admit that the Model 3 15-inch display is no different from looking down at the speedometer through the steering wheel in an ICE car, as it takes almost the same time to get your eyes off the road as you will do in a Model 3. I will argue strongly that Tesla has done an extremely good job by placing the speedometer on the top left corner of the display with the big size they did. Even without my glasses, I have no problem seeing how slow or fast that I'm driving by looking at this display, especially on where it is located on the screen. There won't be any need of keeping your eyes glued to the screen while searching for buttons or features once you get used to their location. The screen interface is very user-friendly and not very difficult to navigate to the car features. The Model 3 is by far one of the fastest cars around in its price range. My Model 3 dual motor can reach 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds with 450 horsepower, with 521 pounds of torque. This car has the speed that can embarrass most sports cars in the conventional ICE car market. The Model 3 is a serious piece of rocket on wheels, considering how fast you can take off and get out of harm's way when need be. The Model 3 can seat 3 average-sized people in the rear seats, and the seats are made of vegan leather, which means no animal were used in the process. The seats are nicely designed and very comfortable. The stereo system is unlike any other vehicle I have ever owned before. The cooling or heating system is totally different than what you have used to see in most popular cars when it's with its touchscreen virtual venting distribution system. In the Model 3, you are able to warm up the seats in a very short period of time, as well as adjusting the climate control to your liking at the touch of your smartphone. And with a wide windshield estate from the driver and passenger seat, the Model 3 lets you see the panoramic view of the road that you can enjoy the ride and feel a sense of safety. With the help of one of the cameras and the virtual graphic animation of the 15-inch screen display, your Tesla Model 3 minimizes all the blind spots around the car, assisting you in changing lanes on the highway. No other cars in its price range will provide you with that many features. The Model 3 is an ultimate driving experience, like no others, with internet service at your disposal, including Google Maps with other amenities. The steering wheel of the Model 3 can be set to different mode, and its rocket steering is super fast with instant response when steering. The latter feels so nice and comfortable. There are only 2 buttons on the steering wheel. They are assignable to fixing your mirrors, bringing up or down your steering wheel, as well as the volume control and some other things. Everything else in the car is operated from the 15-inch screen display, as it is the brain of the car. When driving at night while playing loud music and you're about to pull into a complete stop in your garage or at your neighborhood, the music volume will automatically lower itself down in order not to disturb others the minute you open the car door. This will only occur when the screen display is set to auto, being able to differentiate night from day. You are able to assign and save the way you adjust your seat, mirror, and steering wheel under your name, and your significant other can do the same under his or her name as well. When parking in the tight space, being unable to get in the car, your Model 3 can be summoned to where you stand with the help of your smartphone, allowing you and your passenger to enter the vehicle without any problem. You can set your wiper to auto or manual mode with the desired speed whenever you decide. There's a button on the side you can press to quickly get access to the wiper. Your child or children can enjoy the sky view through the glass roof at night to stare at the stars during road trips. And they'll get to fall asleep much faster due to the absence of a combustion engine noise while listening to some classical music with the wide array of speakers and good sound system in the Model 3. Once you drive a Tesla, you won't want to drive an ICE car again. And going electric will definitely change your driving habits. Even though you will never have to stop at a gas station anymore for gas, but you will indeed need to think of a way to recharge your electric battery. And by far, Tesla is the leading company in terms of having charging stations almost everywhere in the United States. And by doing so, Tesla reduces significantly your range anxiety, being that they are also the leading company in making the longest range electric vehicles in today's electric market. Therefore, the misconception that electric cars can't go as far as combustion engines go is a story of the past. The Model 3 long-range battery with dual motor is 310 miles, and depending on how far you are traveling, you may not need to recharge, perhaps not until you reach your destination. This proves to be the same for a combustion engine, which also requires fueling depending on the distance, and the only difference therein is refueling time. I'll take that over $80 difference for my X5 to be filled up with gas versus charging for free or for a mere $8.75 at a Tesla's fast charging station. The fact that we somehow and often stop at a rest area to use the restroom and to eat is sufficient time for a 75% electric recharge at a Tesla fast charging station. So, to conclude, I have no regrets in transitioning from an ICE vehicle to my Tesla Model 3. Stay tuned, like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'm with Mac Biddle for On Camera. Until the next time, thank you for watching.